This is Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. You should buy this game, and not just in the way that's like, oh, you should play all the games in Smash. This is 4 games in one package and a 5th, like, fully polished Smash Brothers type fighting game. Like, it's not even a mini game. Like, they made a whole ass game, another one inside it. Tunepad has low latency on. Bold of you to assume that I have done that, whatever that is. Maybe I did it a long time ago. Anyways, this is the newest campaign, King Knight, or King of Cards. Shovel Knight and the other 2 follow kind of a Mega Man style situation where you have 8 very long stages that end in a themed boss. You beat them. You don't always get their power-ups, but you progress through the game like that. You do kind of a boss rush thing at the end, and then you beat it. King Knight is the fastest speed run of all of these because it actually, and you'll see when we get to the overworld, has more of a Super Mario Brothers 3 flavor. You select levels. The levels themselves can be less than a minute long. Some of them in this run will be. Even the ones that I don't know how to do like the super fast strats for, they're just naturally very short. So in our thing, including boss fights, we have 21 levels, which is more, but each individual one is less. So you see here we have Shovel of Hope, Plague of Shadows, Spectre of Torment, and King of Cards. The other 3 are boss characters, and they're like prologues or prequels and other sorts of stuff. So they're all pretty different, and they are very cool. And this one came out, it's the last one. There's no more Shovel Knight original game content after this. I've run the other games. I like them a lot, so I was like, okay, I'll do this. It'll be great. Sorry for the coughing. That's going to happen. This one, we're just going to name it King for right now. So again, I'm going to do a very brief walkthrough. Time is not starting. Do a very, very, very brief walkthrough of the 4 different types of movement you're going to see. And then I'm going to go back, we're going to reset, and we're going to do the whole dang thing. So, this is King Knight. He's bigger than the other knights, physically. And there's 4 things that you're going to see. One is the normal dash. So you press a button, you just do this dash. Pretty simple. The other is if you repress the dash button during the end of the dash, you'll do a roll. This extends you a little bit further, and you have collision while you're doing this roll, but not after, so you have to time it pretty well. A lot of times you're going to be seeing me short canceling these rolls to move faster on the ground, and you might think, oh, that's usually pretty good. There are 2 reasons that you want to do a normal dash. One, it's at the end of the dash, you see I kind of go into this free fall, and I can kind of correct myself. This is if you need a precise landing, you want to do something like that. The other brings us to the 3rd important movement option, which is shoulder bash. If you collide with a wall, at the end of a dash, you will do this. You'll do damage, and you will go into a little spin. Now, you cannot dash or do anything else until you have touched the ground or hit an enemy. So, you do this. It's not actually that fast when you go this way, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Watch what I'm going to do here. This is the last one. This is spinning and resetting. So I'm going to hit. So, hit this person, and now, even though I'm twirling in air, I can dash again. Right? So a lot of this game is manipulating those states to do things like, hey, now, you see, I hit that one, that doesn't count. But, and then we're literally about to reset, so don't worry, everyone. This is, hit this, though, now I can go. There you go. That's it. That's the whole, some variation of those things is happening at every point in this very short run. The other important disclaimer to this is I have not practiced this run in a month. I have done almost 500 attempts at this, so I know it very well. Hold on, I gotta name this after the true king. Where's my good boy? I took Chuckles out before this. He was being very sweet to me, and now he is laying next to me. So after this, I'm gonna feed him, and then I'm gonna do commentary for Zach's run. At a nearly 10-minute PB and LTTP rando last night, and I haven't played in like 2 months.
I mean,
that's the reason. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think that's the thing with most of us is that I did like 1 Grow Home run in the past several weeks, and I think Nick had done like 1 Mimpy Dreams run. So like, that's par for the course.
Part of the reason, though, for me was I got like incredibly sick, and then I hurt my wrist right after I recovered from that. So I had about a solid 2.5 weeks where I just like could not run. I just could not do it. And then I've been working on Mafia. Shoutouts to those of you who signed up for Mafia. And so the last week and a half I should have done it, but I didn't. But before then I had an excuse. Anyways, Yeah, it's not that long. I'm going to mess up a lot. My PB has about 3 deaths. There will be more in this one. I'm very sorry about it, especially the last few levels can be pretty brutal. And there are quick kills for 2 of the hardest boss fights in the game that I have practiced, but still can only very rarely get. And I'll probably talk about those when we get up to them. Or am I going to be restarting? Yeah, well, I'm starting right now. I was just telling everyone, no, resetting for the run? No, this is no reset. I'm just going through the whole way. I'm pretty sure I would be a little disappointed with myself if I did not make estimate, because this estimate is generous now, but was too generous at the time I was grinding at attempts. My PB is a 40.01. I wanted a sub 40, and I got 1.1 seconds off of it, which is very tilting. But yeah. Okay, I think we are about to be good to go. Let me make sure I have live split ready, and we just passed 1 minute into the time I should have started, so we're good. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Hopefully the delay is not that bad for everybody.
It's not too bad.
All right, so now I'm going to do some stuff. Jake, feel free to talk or ask questions or anything.
Yes.
I have to remember how to do this. Okay, I missed that first one. That's usually a reset point for me because it's we have a meme in my channel called the unhinged zone, which is when, you know, that whole, oh, that's never happened before, you know, the moment in time at which all the things that should not normally be happening to you are happening. And if you miss one of the easy jumps, that's an invitation to the unhinged zone.
I'm just here for the music.
It's very good. I like very specifically did not listen to the soundtrack at all recently because I wanted to re-experience many of it with all of you. I'll take this a little slow. So that's a medal. We do actually need those. Oh, and I missed the thing. That's great. I almost went to split. I should not do that. There will be no other splits. There's just one timer. Anyways, that's the first. This is kind of the Super Mario Bros. 3 overworld that I was talking about. So that dashing versus rolling thing, if you look here, I was able to roll to both break that destructible block and kill that enemy. But it's very precise when and where you want to do certain things. Do we get slime cursed? Okay. Sometimes that slime can aggro onto you and you'll lose a whole lot of time for doing it. Cool. So Jake, I mostly just have you here, and I apologize to be like, you gotta do stuff, but also I'm gonna keep talking. I mostly have you here because there are parts of this game that become very intense.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just say nothing during it. Okay. Oh, I messed this up pretty bad. So this strat. Oh no! All right, this is slime curse. This is there's a cool way to do that I can do 100 times out of 10. And then if you get cursed.
Yeah, with marathons, you're just kind of like rolling with it. You can't
Yeah.
get too upset about it because it's just, that's how it is.
Well, and that's the great thing is I did grind out a lot of attempts, so people who watch my stream regularly know what it looks like when it goes fast, but the rest of you don't. So you're just like, oh, you're just hitting blocks and going fast, and that's good to go. There are a few level strats that are very fun, and even if you have never played the game, you can know you're like, wow, that seems pretty fast. So this is my mom. King Knight lives with his mother. And he has a bunch of pet rats. It's actually very cute. King Knight's story is kind of a tragic one because he really is not. His character is very aggressive and boisterous and kind of, you know, he's a shitty brat of a guy. But he actually has a lot of love for creatures that are considered lesser. This was very bad. I need to make sure that I'm full health when I fight the boss at the end of this level. And I'll tell you what we're collecting these medals for later, but just to give you a little bit of the setup, is he has a bunch of pet rats, he puts little propellers on them, and as he says, they are incredibly loyal and the first of his vassals, which is sweet. Yeah, you know, they're just pets. They just like food, as many of us pet owners know. This one's a little tough, so I want to cancel. Yeah, there we go. Okay, sweet. This one, there's a thing that saves 1 second to do, but I don't do it because I don't want to do that to myself. Anyways, there is a card tournament there's a card game that has taken this world by storm called Joustus. We're about to get our first Joustus deck here after we fight Spectre Knight, and he has to be very nice to us and give us a good pattern. Because I'm going to go for the same strat every time, no matter what. Nope, he didn't. Okay, I have to be careful because I could die. Well... I'm gonna like run around. No. Okay, so I'll do it again real quick. That hurts me deeply, but I care about all of you. So you basically have to spam roll on him, and he has a 1 1/3 chance of just not attacking at the start here. Okay, and we got the 2/3 chances of him attacking. And then if he gets up here, he doesn't know what he's doing. Alright, there we go. We did it. And this is all extra time to talk about stuff. So anyways, Spectre Knight is here, and he's going to give us our card, our first deck. I'm setting up to split, and I need to fight the urge. So we skip all this stuff. He gives you a deck of cards. The idea is that in each of the 3 kingdoms, there is a card lord, a Joustus king. And if you can defeat them in card combat, they give you a little sticker or whatever, and then the first one to get all of them is the King of Cards. You don't actually have to play cards ever. This is the only time they make you go into one of the stages, and that's to pick up these 2 like Robin Hood-ass companions. You see each level end is a little ring that has the rats on it, your little propeller rats, which is very cute. And they're like, hey, we have an airship, and we have real grievances with the royalty of this nation. And King Knight doesn't care about anyone but himself. And he's like, I guess you'll be my subjects. I guess that makes sense to me. But we do this quit out because it's faster than letting these things load. This is the level that has a really fast strat. Sorry, I'm going very fast. I asked Jake to do this, and I'm worried that I'm not going to give him any time to say anything.
Hey, Pat.
What's up?
Does your mom ever say, yo, you suck at Dark Souls?
Yes, she does say that. My mom loves being a stream mom.
No, I meant your mom in the game.
Oh, no, not that one. I thought you meant my real mom. I was like, yeah, my real mom does think I'm not very good at Dark Souls.
Rodrigo doesn't have the lore.
Yeah, Rodrigo does not have the lore. Alright, so I should have enough money now. This room is very difficult to do quickly, but you see this one is red. Most levels have kind of a separate secret exit, a separate way out of the level, and we need to go to this one to get our only power-up of the game, which is why I also got 6, I hope I got 6 of these things. So we'll talk to this guy whose name is Traitorous, which I love, and he gives you the turncoat, which is also a very good joke. And the turncoat is this sort of thing. So we can't shoulder bash or dash through this level. It's a little tutorial zone to let you know how to use it. You take damage and you reflect it. So you are immune to damage while you do it. You can also roll, and then based on the damage, you fire back something else. It's going to be useful in a lot of boss kills, a lot of other things. I'm going to kill this little dragon here. Oh, no! No, I missed the cycle! No! No! Oh my god. Oh, and I'm taking... This is shameful. Okay, alright, well, we're gonna do this. This is that no practice stuff, baby! Anyways, dragon has died. You wait here. Taking damage from something like this instantly gives you 3. The charge depends on how much damage you take while you are in the turncoat. So normally, it goes pretty fast. You roll, you do stuff like this. You can clear whole screens, and you get a whole bunch of money. We're gonna need the money for the second power-up, which is one we're going to buy. It comes later. It's very important. So anyways, we take that. We're good to go. So back to the very quick hit plot of this game is King Knight hears about this card contest and the title King of Cards, and because he's a fraud, is like, but has, delusions of grandeur, is like, oh, I want to be a king, and this is the only way to be a king. He's not very good at card games. So his plan is just to go to the actual kingdoms like he's going to do it and then just fight them because he's big and stupid, which is very funny. King Knight said himbo right. So this is the first boss level. They are longer, and there are a few strats that look pretty fast. A lot of roll cancels and stuff here. If I can get this, I'll feel good. Hey, there we go. I'm gonna be careful here. And money, very specifically, something. So this is a thing in Shovel Knight games. You can break. What is it? You can break checkpoints for extra cash, but those checkpoints will not function. So you will go back all the way to the very beginning of the level. And this is very important because if I actually die before this boss, it has to be a reset. I don't have backups for it if it happens in the marathon, if I die on the boss, so everybody just pray. Because you need a very specific amount of money, and you lose money when you die. So the fact that I only have 3 health and have not practiced this boss in a long time stresses me out greatly. But I will try and be careful. So here's the king. He gets in a giant mech suit because he's not a wimp like you think he is. Oh, this is bad. Okay. So a lot of cool manipulation and stuff of this boss that you can do. I'm doing none of it. We want to avoid another jump phase. That would be the absolute worst. Okay, so here he's gonna call in a griffin. I'm gonna miss that somehow. Oh my god. Oh no, dude. Okay, so yeah, if you don't dodge that jump, you get stunned. You die. All right, I finally hit him with the turncoat. All right. All things considered, this is only a minute off my PB, which is not that bad, but still pretty bad. So this amount brings us to 6437 money that we have. And that's a very specific number, or within a specific range, because you can get an extra 400 on the ship. So I actually could have skipped, I think, one little bit of gems to save a little bit more time, but you'll understand why it's very important that we get that. And that if you are in a bad fight with King Pridemore, you have to take it slow, because you cannot die, you cannot lose any of your money. The upgrade that you get is the most important thing of the game, and you're going to see why. It leads to a lot of very cool strats. So you talk to Traitorous, because he joined you, and he thinks that's very cool. And we get this, the Battery Brigandine, I guess, which is armor. So we'll put out here, and that is the end of the first world.
Amazing.
Which is not. Thank you, Jake. It is very amazing. I am very amazing. All right,
well, you're doing so well.
Here we're getting to one of the only original musics here. So now I look blue. I have special armor on, and you see I'm charging up. And I can do a super dash, and that super dash that I can do is in each of the 4 cardinal directions. So I'm gonna go a little slower here, but combined with the turncoat, you can do. Whoop! If I please don't mess up. Hey, there we go. So we're pretty sure this is a bug and not intended when combined with the turncoat, but it basically causes you to do this weird super jump. I also have to be careful here, because one mess up here dies. Teammate cannot swim. There you go. All right, so that's pretty fast. But so you see there, like, I'm able to hold the charge and then shoot directly up or down, or left or right, and that creates a lot of things. That last room is actually so much trickier for people who have played the game and done that. You cannot shoulder bash or reset or anything off of those walls. So you have to just do this incredibly tight platforming that we just skip entirely because we have this. This is a very scary level. Is my muscle memory going to make me go for the impossible cycle? We will find out. So far, yes. Okay, I missed the cycle by taking damage there. So you can get through here. It saves you time. People understand that. Anyways, there's an awful fish. A terrible fish. This is similar to the sun in Super Mario Bros. 3. And I've already taken damage. This is not good. So you have to run over here, which spawns this red thing up at the top. Oh, no. Oh, we're definitely going to die. Okay, I'll just go ahead and take a step right here. Just to get a refill on health. This is like a run killer and a half, this guy. So you go here, break that, do this, and then you use the... Oh my god. Yeah, there we go. So you go over here. So you also need the blue thing. You need other power-ups to get up there, but you can utilize the blue things with here. So now we basically have to race against this awful fish. I have actual nightmares from the amount of times that I... Yep. There it is. Okay. Ugh. All right, we'll get through this together. The frog, yeah, so you can actually, that frog in the bubble that you saw in the previous level is a power-up that I used to get when I was routing this run earlier. You actually encase yourself in a frog bubble. And it's very cute, it leads to some very cool strats, but we have to pick up too many medals for it to be worth it, even if it is good once you get it. You're gonna try and just take it slow. Okay, all right, we're out of there.
Every time I want to talk, I'm like, now maybe not.
I know. Well, yeah, I'm so sorry. And it's also just like the fish has kind of the similar properties to the Super Mario Brothers 3 Sun, all sorts of things. This is a level I used to know how to do very fast, and I hope I get to do it fast as well. It's very cool. I would say now, Jake, is a good time.
You let me know.
To tell people about Ziathon. And what they're watching.
Ziathon is now.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I'll do the thing in the chat. No, holy shit, I spelled it wrong. There we go. I spelled it right that time. You're watching it. It's been going on since Friday night.
Rip.
A lot of folks that are either like first or second time runners, like run games at Remython, which was 6 months ago. It's basically just more or less designed around either folks new to speedrunning learning something, or people that are established, or whatever, they've been doing speedrunning for a while and want to try something new. And we've got a couple folks like that as well. And had a good turnout last time, so here we are again doing it again. This is named Ziathon after Greg's dog Zia, which if you have FFZ you can see a picture of Zia there with Tosima.
So when is Truffles time?
Well, I wouldn't do that without your permission.
Okay.
I mean, that's certainly a thing that can happen.
Considerate of you. Okay. All right. I'm sad because I've now failed this thing that looks very cool.
If you need me to solicit applause from the crowd to get your motivation back, I can do that. No, it's okay. This
level, I'll do this. This level has a mechanic where you basically shoulder bash on the parts of the walls that are beakers, and that creates like moving platforms and stuff. This is a Plague Knight stage. Also one of the playable characters. You look here. We do a quick down jump. The last room looks a lot scarier than it is, which now that I've said that means I'm gonna die to it. This is just one of those, just know where they are, make sure this dude can't get you. Grab this, and you're good to go. So just little instances that you're seeing as I try desperately not to match the time that I'm seeing to what I know my personal best is. Little instances that you're seeing of like this blue charge suit kind of creating some more stuff here. So pretty much anytime we go back to the ship, you're gonna see me do this, which is just quitting out. It means that other than the little mini bosses moving around over there, everything spawns in. So here is also one of the very tricky and kind of flashier looking stages. Got the roll in the first try, but it is also incredibly dangerous. These rats have a very big hitbox when they explode. They're like test subjects or whatever. Nope. Yeah. Okay. I went for the super jump there, and it's like, on one hand, it's like, you're in a marathon setting, don't go for that. But the run is comprised entirely of that.
Yeah.
So if I don't do it now, there's gonna be a lot of situations later where it's very bad. But anyways, the lingering hitbox on the explosion of these rats is very dangerous to deal with, and you really want to conserve your health for the latter part of the stage, which you will see when we get to it, and you will understand exactly why. It is incredibly hectic. Anyways, a big reason why I tell everyone to get these games is not just because of, the value of getting 4 games in one, but really because I think Shovel Knight and Yacht Club kind of are responsible for revitalizing this kind of 2D platforming genre without making things incredibly difficult, right? I think you have like Super Meat Boy and a lot of these other games that were, you know, very well known for like, we're gonna make this incredibly hard, right? Like this game looks like it came out years ago. It has the DNA and the lifeblood of, you know, a Mega Man or something. So we're gonna go secret exit here as well, that you can access because blue.
Also, both good friends and speedrunners have contributed to this game series, correct?
Yes, the like world record holder, kind of the OG world record holder, Munchakoopas for the original Shovel Knight, then got the job as like the head QA, or I think eventually head QA for Yacht Club, which is a super cool thing. So these work on a cycle, which means you got to be very careful. But also, if you know where they are, yeah, I missed a little bit of the cycle. But still, didn't die in the back half, which I can be happy with, because that is a that's also like a run-killing sort of room. Because, you know, and this is the nature of, like, going fast is very hard, especially when things are cycle-based, and depending on when you enter that part of the stage, can really mess with everything. This is one of my favorite stages of the game. It's not all that difficult, I say as I'm going to die. This is the Truple Pawn. The Truple King is the next Joustus Lord, Joustus King that we are going to fight here, and I love the music. Again, this is one of the 2 original tracks. It's most of the Truple King music was from the original thing, so they didn't really have their own stage. And there's a part later that is an auto-scroller where the music goes way harder than it needs to, IMO. And I think if you're going to do an auto-scrolling section in your game, make the music amazing.
Hold on.
Oh. All right. Here's the music. It's so good. And then we do more of it. This cool little thing is a way to get up here that isn't normal, which makes me happy. Use the Brigandine to have to escape doing something. And now here we are again. This is the true auto-scroller. So it's a very cute, fun time. Truples are, of course, trouts and apples. They're fish. They're fruit fish, which is very cute. The boss, the Truple King itself, is very cute and incredibly large. And so this is a very chill point where you don't really do anything. Everyone, you can get a world record on this section. It's the exact same length the entire time. So we just chill here. We use our turncoat just not to take extra damage. We go 2 jumps, then we go 1 over, and then 2 more jumps, and we go again.
So I have a question.
What's up?
Has this game given you any desire or motivation to run other games that are kind of similar in this? Because you said it was like an inspiration to other recent games.
Yes. One sec though, because the boss is here. This is the Truple King. He's a giant trout apple, and if I get the fast strat, it's very cool. Cutie. Okay, I did not get it. That's very annoying. It's not the worst thing in the world, though. Him having 1 health is always sad here because you can't skip the Jaws section here. The unique thing about the Truple King is that his hitbox is so large that he takes damage twice from the turncoat. So it's very tight timing to immediately shoulder bash into the Truples that fly up, and you basically collect 3 hits, throw it, and it does 6 damage. So you can create a situation where he won't phase change until a certain point. So you hit him 3 times for 18 damage, and then while he transitions to the next thing, you hit him twice, and you win the game. It's very cool. It's not actually that hard, all things considered, to pull off. It just matters, did you hit that first tight timing window, which I didn't, so I was kind of off cycle there a little bit. All in all, not the worst fight. You get to see more of it as a spectator, but not something I would be happy with, as I'm sure you're getting. So also, I'm getting extra health by giving my mom money to bake pies, which is also very cute. My mom eventually joins the crew and is constantly embarrassing me because King Knight, again, wants people to think that he is awesome and in charge and very worthy of being a king. The people think he's cool because he's going around and, like, getting monarchs to realize their actual problems they have with things. And he is oblivious to that being the reason why people like him. So he's doing good things on accident. is basically what's happening here. This is one of the 2 Tinker Knight stages, which is very difficult because there's a lot of, you know, you can take damage and... Ooh, okay. I am actually very good at video games. You can take a lot of damage and get crushed by a lot of these things, a lot of areas to fall in and die. But this is one of the more fun ones to do very quickly. If I can get these strats, I will feel pretty good. If I can do 1 level fast by, you know, my standards, I will feel good. Yeah, I think go slow here. All right, and hit that on the last pixel, and then this always looks fun. You just don't even have to do that whole platforming section again because the blue armor, the battery brigandine, kicks ass. Yes, the mom is in the crew. She joins to bake us pies. And there's actually kind of a subplot where she starts falling for the King Pridemore, the first guy that we beat, because she lives alone. What happened to King Knight's actual dad is unknown, but it's not... You're not led to believe it's tragic by any means. She's just an old woman who's finding love in the arms of this old king. And every time you come back to the ship, like you'll jump up and the king will get scared and jump into her arms, Scooby-Doo style. And you'll be like, get your hands off my mother, knave. And it's actually very cute. It's not like they don't make it a weird thing. And it's something that I really like. And is also meant to kind of foreshadow King Knight's immaturity, that he can't think of anyone but himself, so he can't be happy for his mom. Anyways, this is the second Tinker Knight stage. The second part of it requires 2 rather precise super jumps, which make it very difficult to do. And then you can still die on the last room, which is also scary, as we'll find out. So, like, 3 health here should be fine. So that's the first one, which doesn't look that bad. Okay. All right, and cool. All right, so we made it through there. So this is also very scary. Every time you touch on this, lightning will come out. So you are the reason that makes it hard. Okay, sick. All right, now that was pretty good. I think in general, that's I consider a good level from me. You can totally clap. Old woman, new love, I'm happy for, absolutely. Coffee bean cylinders, there's a lot of cute stuff. So not much is known. Yeah, here you see, he jumps into, he gets scared because the birds show up. He jumps into her arms. It's very cute. And, like, they give you upgrades, and he's sweet to you. Like, there's literally no reason other than King Knight's own selfishness to hate this guy. This is the other track that is new to this game. That's pretty good. Remember how to do this? Yeah, okay, I do. Sorry. I was like, this is another one of those ones where it's very easy to do fast, but you can also mess it up. So the mechanic of this stage is if you are in a spin, you will get sent in these little portals. And we kind of want to avoid them, honestly, because we want to go over top of the stage. This dragon was not cooperative, so now I have to go slow. This is one of those ones where it's maybe harder to speedrun than it is to play casually, which does not often come up as the case. There you go. And then this room is tricky. People can do this room entirely like blindfolded, basically. Like from here, they'll just run off the screen because everything's loaded in. Well, and if you mess up once, you die. So it wouldn't be a me run if I didn't die on this, the easiest part of the game, basically. But the entire level is loaded in, so people who just know the timing, and I've practiced it, I can get most of the way there, but I can't really get the full way there. So we'll just wait, and we'll just enjoy the music and the audio.
Oh, so you're saying like I didn't know
like,
what you meant.
If you look here, like these things are still up here.
Yeah. Like in Super Mario 3D World, like the fuzzy level, where like the fuzzies are chased.
Yeah, you can just go up.
You can just go all the way to the end. It's not really an auto
What
scroller.
makes it difficult is you'll see this last one here is on a cycle, and you need this one to finish the level. And you get the exit right there. So people will just go up and completely do it. The difficult thing here, and why I say this one is actually harder to speedrun, is because if you are used to, you know, learning the battery brigandine, the big blue charge, you're not spinning. And you need to be spinning, because if you aren't spinning, you'll just go through those little bits of air and you'll die. So you actually have to, like, slow down a bit, which is... Okay, well, and I just That was bad. Not sure what that was. But as you all know, telling a speedrunner to slow down a little bit for their safety is not. It's usually not good. All right, this dude is actually giving me an incredibly weird open twice now. I don't think I've seen that. Get your "that's never happened before" is out if you want.
I'll replace it with a quote.
These guys are incredibly awful. They disrupt you and they blow air away. So you have to come up with plans. This super jump is very important. Okay, sweet. They are harder to do than they look, but you do have to be able to do them with regularity. So, yeah, back up on that one is a super jump, which is also scary. Here we'll be using a lot of the downward ones, trying to just avoid this guy. This looks like he would die, but actually, it's where the stage is going. Here we go. This room is scary. Gonna hit this on the edge there so that you are running. And these dragon enemies. Okay, good. We're safe. This one looks scary too because it looks like you're gonna die, but then it goes there. This one's interesting. There is supposed to be one of those green. People call them Jawas because they look like Jawas with helicopters. Star Wars. There's one that's supposed to spawn there, but if you just go on the bottom row, it doesn't. I don't think anyone really knows why. This is very tricky because you will get wind resistance, and as you will see here, one of our friends has come along. All right, not that bad. Other than the start, which was very weird and non-standard, I can be pretty happy with that. Here is Spectre Knight. This is another boss preceding this very difficult boss that is about to come up. There is a very cool fast strat to do. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to try to get it. I probably won't. I've gotten it once ever, but I'm going to try it. Oh, okay, I messed it up. All right, now you fight this. So previously we see Spectre Knight in his playable character form, which is a small one in the Shovel Knight and Plague Knight games, which are the more present day ones. You see him in this form. So this is just a rehash of that fight for people who've played those games, and you get to go a little fast because of, again, the kind of charge dash here, but compared to skipping this phase, while this is actually still fine, all things considered. They'll like turn the lights off, but you can kind of keep canceling your dashes and stuff. So not a bad Spectre Knight fight considering I missed the thing, but as you see, there's a specific health break point at which he will start rising up, and he still has the normal amount of health that he does until he reaches the top, he transforms and refills. So if you are already pogoing on top of him, you can kill him before that refill happens, and it saves you an entire minute, which is pretty huge.
Perrin, you're not allowed to say that because your run of FTL, you did a great job while you were talking while you were playing.
I know Perrin was practicing a lot to do really well there. So this is Birder Bluff. This is a pretty unique stage in that it's pretty weird. Like, visually it doesn't match anything. There's a whole lot of mystery. No one's ever heard of the Third King. The third Joustus Judge is, I believe, what they're called. And because of Spectre Knight appearing, who tries to warn you, Spectre Knight is a good tragic character, and I think my favorite of the Shovel Knight spin-offs, and Shovel Knight games, period. He's a very good dad and good boyfriend who got turned into a lich to save the people he loves, which is good as hell. And he absolutely hates King Knight, because King Knight, you don't even get that he's undead. He just like keeps calling you sickly. Like he just absolutely doesn't get it. And he's very rude to you. I gotta make sure. Oh no. Okay. Activated the dragon. All right, we're still good. A lot of things can kill you here. You can die to spikes. You can die to getting crushed by things. So I'm trying to take it a little bit slow so that I don't just completely wreck myself. And the boss is awful. You're gonna see it for yourself. I don't know how to explain it to you. The fast strat for the boss is very cool and incredibly inconsistent until you reach a player skill that I have not. Okay, I gotta be careful here. Oh, okay, save. Use expects this to go up. So again, just kind of avoiding a lot of the intricacies of platforming here by utilizing this thing. I'm gonna grab a little bit of extra health here, and now we're gonna finally get the reveal of who this mysterious figure is. And it's just one of these guys. Okay, hold on. Oh my god. There's a lot of things that make this very stressful, and I would love to not die on it, but anyone who's watched my stream knows. Okay, so we weren't able to skip this. For those of you who have played the Shovel Knight games, though, this moveset looks familiar to you in that it is the moveset that the final boss uses, the Enchantress, in almost all of her iterations. Okay, you can't touch these pillars of water. You gotta dodge lasers, you gotta dodge the little birds that come out. But here in a sec, you're gonna see the true... If you just notice, the walls also start closing in. So this boss actually has quite a bit more health than it appears, because as the arena changes, they refill a little bit of their health, and it becomes easier for these blocks to literally kill you. I think I might die here. Oh! Yeah, okay, oh my god. Alright, so there were 2 hits from dead. I managed to clutch it out and not die in the corner, but then he got blocked. So, yep, that's King Birder, baby!
Rodrigo, I don't know.
Thing in the game. So the quick kill for this boss is that start that I had, which manipulates the boss to jump up to the top there. And you do this kind of charge, and you basically just do a bunch of frame-perfect inputs that kind of lock the boss in taking damage, and you kill them before they regenerate. Because again, the health bar that you're seeing at the top is a lie. The boss doesn't actually have that much health. They have a lot more, because when you hit, every time you get close to beating them, they'll heal a little bit more. So you basically dodge that healing entirely. And then there's times like this, where the boss moves to that side, so with one hit, I need to get health. Yeah, and it's also awkward because if the health gets crushed by a block, it'll just despawn. Okay, I think this is a good situation for me. Well, I say that. There we go. Okay. You're also, if you... I know it's a very hectic fight, so it's a little difficult to tell what's going on in it. But one of the things that comes up a lot that you are seeing is... well, I'll explain it a bit. Anyways, the Enchantress shows up. You realize the king wasn't actually a king. It was literally just one of the birds that she put a bunch of bad magic on to try and keep people from getting closer to the truth of what's going on. Which is something that you find out later. There's a bunch of fun cutscenes after you defeat each one of the Justice Judges, which is them giving sage wisdom and advice to King Knight and him completely ignoring it. Because he's like, I don't have anything to learn from you. Which is like funny and sad, but it is the way he is. We're gonna grab an extra health just for safety in the rest of the run. We're gonna move on to the last level. There's only 4 levels left for the last world. With only 4 levels left. Anyways, a mechanic that you're seeing, which is basically if you charge the dash, the battery, and you fire off a dash, and you collide with something, if you don't repress the dash button and hold on to it, you can basically chain your battery dashes. Which is something that comes up in that boss fight, but is primarily used in the final boss fight, and you will be able to see it, like, if I just said that mechanic to you, yeah, okay, well there, I'm gonna die. But like, if you're gonna see, like, if you saw that previous fight and you were like, I can't tell what's going on, you're definitely gonna be able to tell as you go. So, similar to kind of the Wily levels in Mega Man games, which still, they kind of borrow their influence, a lot of this is like, and now, the very difficult ascent to the castle. This using kind of one of my favorite mechanics to, like, hiding things in darkness. So there's actually a trampoline there, and you'll know that if you go the other way. super jump to get up here and skip a little platforming section. And the rest of this level is not that tough, but the hardest part of the level is, as you might expect, at the very end, where we could die. So usually not a very technical level, except for one thing at the end that can just absolutely wreck you. So we're going to try and do another super jump here. Sweet. And I need to be careful not to charge here. This is one of those sections where if you actually charge your battery, you can... A lot of bad things can happen that can kill you here. So... Alright. Coming up in the last section. This is it. But there is one enemy here, one of the enemies that loves to track you. Alright, I'm not gonna mess around with it. That's like painfully slow, but I would like to not die right here at the end. There are a lot of ways that you can use to manipulate the positioning of that enemy so that you can basically drop down and do a battery dash, but I would like to finish this run under estimate. We have 3 levels left, so that's where I'm at. This is the worst one in the whole run, though. This is it. This is King Birder is the worst fight, and this is the worst level, and you'll see here in a bit. It's very stressful to get through in the latter part. Before that, though, we get some cool, precise timing. A lot of these liquid ninjas show up. Alright, and I am going to grab the save point because I'm a coward. I've never done this room deathless. I've done every other part of the game deathless except this one. Yep. Alright, so this little area is the first part of the gauntlet, which you will see now. Which is, you have to deal with timing, you have to time your jumps, you have to manipulate the AI of this very annoying dragon enemy. You have to get the cycles right on this flame drip here. So like, oh, okay, thank God, I finally hit him. And super jump, okay. Luckily, I am doing well with those. And then, as if that wasn't enough, we have to skate. Which has ice physics. And we have Dragon, yeah, reprising its role sort of as the Super Mario Bros. 3 son, kind of being awful as the fish. And if you die, you're right back here. So this is the thing. These creatures are axolotls, if you wanted to know, the weird lightning fish, or not lightning fish, the lava fish. Trying to go very slow here. All right. Yeah, again, made difficult from the fact that you cannot reset your dash on the walls of a lot of things in here, which makes it very difficult because, as you've been watching, a lot of this game is utilizing your dash to reset. I should be safe. I think I basically damaged the dragon and kept him from getting too close. Yeah, there you go. All right, so there's like 3 deaths. So still not that bad. Imagine being a bubble frog. Bubble frog power up, for those of you who remember the bubble frog strats, makes that level trivial. Bubble frog crit. This is the last level before the final boss little mini gauntlet that they have here. Be careful, because these spikes are instant death. And they introduce this mechanic here, which is you'll sort of teleport through this green stuff, which usually can lead to some cool stuff. Okay, good platforming. A little slow, but that's fine. Get through there. I want to be careful not to die here. Just basically roll. And I want to charge up in this level transition. This room gets awful because it also kind of blows a gale. And I am going to absolutely be scared, and I'm going to go grab this checkpoint. This is one of those things where, those of you who watch my runs, I never grab this checkpoint at this stage, because if you die here, it's a reset anyways. this is a very long and very dangerous auto-scroller that starts off pretty manageable, but is going to get more frightening here in a sec. We don't really need that health, so that's fine. And unlike, I guess you could, in theory... Yep. Oh, and there you go. Dude just jumps up there and stabs you to death, which is annoying. Okay. If we don't die from here, I think we will finish underestimate, which will be fine. I'm just giving myself a wide berth on the final boss gauntlet because it is stressful. I normally try to kill this dude, but I was like, there's no way he's gonna kill me here. And of course, he has never killed me that way, which is fun. So again, you kind of are using this sort of teleporting, the warp wrapping, as it is called in this game. So you can be like, hey, go over here. And that looks kind of cool, but you're going to be called on to do a lot of it in kind of a difficult way coming soon. So here's going to be an awful ninja who's going to come here. Shouldn't be able to get me from right here. Sniper Joe's evolved. Yeah, exactly. All right. And now we enter the more difficult part. These little dragon enemies, if you hit the one in the middle, they'll all die. You remember how to do this. So here, I actually have to be pressing left and right, but you can't just hold it uniformly. All right, I think that makes us good. Yeah, that's good now. All right, and then I'm going a little slow here. I need to jump now. All right, and I don't want to choke here. Now, here, this is spawned before you can see it, so it's just easy to know it's there. You can get up there pretty quickly. I saw they were flying fish. They are dragons. They breathe fire. All right, cool. And that's it. Now we're on to the last level of the game. It's pretty hard. it's pretty difficult. For how scary this vid looks, yeah, it's very scary. Doing this, I don't think saves time, but it looks cool, so I like to do it. All right, so this is kind of a staple in every Shovel Knight game. Has this little mini gauntlet here. I usually don't die to it. Certainly don't want to today. Other games, though, have very cool strats where you can go, like, hide up in a corner or something, and it'll never hit you, which is funny. All right, so again, just for safety, we're going to grab money. Or, not money, health. These things die if you bash into them or if you jump on them, which is very important for right here. All right, we're through. Let me see if I can remember how to do this. So this is the first of 3 final boss fights in a row. The Enchantress, though, is kind of cool. She's similar to the Yellow Devil in the Mega Man game. Always has the same pattern across all the games. You just have better or worse tools to deal with her. Battery charge lets us do cool stuff here. Pretty soon she's going to start doing this. And eventually end beneath. We are lucky we get the turncoat, which can hit her below the stage. And hopefully I can kill her before she does another one of those. Okay, I did not. Alright, this should take care of it. Yeah, running onto the flame pits, which eventually... So she creates level and then destroys it and kind of goes in and out like that. This is it. This is the Burger King. So she's finally led you here, and this is in the story where she's trying to manipulate King Knight with regards to his love of, ruling and this idea of being somebody, and is, being like, hey, you don't need these fools, etc., and now literally turns them against you in a very weird fusion of all 3, Truple, Bird, and Man, that we affectionately call the Burger King. You'll see why. And I'm going to try and get a lot of dash resets here to stay as airborne as I can, which is going to be very hard because I haven't practiced in a while. So it looks like this. Do it correctly. Right here, he's going to break the ground. That's very sad, because normally I like to kill him before then. Alright. So, each segment of health bar indicates a new phase for him, and you basically want to keep going so that you can skip the phases. I'm going to take this as slow as I can here to fight the final phase, which is Andros. It's still incredibly scary just because you'll die if anything bad happens. Alright, so we have one more of this, and then the scariest part, which either instantly kills the boss or will kill me. Oh! Oh! Okay. Oh! Okay. Jesus. Alright, and that's technically time, right under estimate.
I want to say that... I want to say also for your... what was it, Marvel Ultimate Alliance run? Ultimate Alliance 3?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you were also like 10 or 12
seconds.
Yeah, right under it.
Alright, well, normally for that last phase, you're supposed to just pogo on his head 4 times, rather than doing whatever the hell I just did. Anyways, this is where this is a kind of an iconic scene that happens in every Shovel Knight game where a lot of people are being held over this thing, and she's talking about how you've proven yourself, and she's collecting an order of knights who in the later games are the main bosses, and how all you got to do is abandon your friends. And everyone's like, he would never do that to us, certainly. And of course, King Pridemore talks to him, has learned nothing about the character of King Knight, and scolds him like a father would, which sends kind of his jealousy over the edge. They're not dead, by the way. They just go into hiding, and now he's like, I don't want anyone to ever have cards again, so that I can forever claim to be the world champion at this one weird game we were all a fan of, which is narratively very silly, but also incredibly as petty as this character is, which is why I love him. He's very big, he's very fun, he's silly, but now you see kind of the world becoming the state that it is when you get to Shovel Knight. And Jake, I know we probably want to keep moving, but there's one thing I want to show people, which is right at the very end. I'll skip through the credits to get to it here, which is now the Pridemore Keep, which when you play through the original game, you know is King Knight's stage. And now you know how to get it. He kind of usurps the king. And King Knight's moveset is actually the moveset of King Pridemore, the first boss that we fight. So it's funny to see that he doesn't even have his own fighting style. He copies it from this guy. So the king tries to summon his griffins. He's like, you and my mom go live elsewhere. And for the only moment in the game does he show regret when his mom doesn't take his side on this. He doesn't get it. He is now alone in this thing. And right after the credits, you'll see something sweet. Also, something very important coming up. A good friend of mine, Jocelyn Kim, worked on the Shovel Knight games. Everybody spam emotes for Jocelyn Kim. Jocelyn Kim is Chuckles' godfather and helped take care of Chuckles. Very important to us and also the dog theming of the game. This is where you can see how many deaths you got. I don't want to look at it. It was a lot more than normal. Emotes, 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 emotes. And then here's the last thing I wanted to show you. Here's a fun for those of you who played Shovel Knight. Finally, after all my trials, everything is as it ought to be. No fish, chickens, or musicians to bother me. My boots are clean of truple spit, and I've rid my kingdom of every blasted joustus card. Best of all, my castle is a gleaming shrine of golden opulence, a worthy monument to my grandeur. At long last, I can settle into my throne and bask in my own perfection. Now I'll be king forever. And then, literally the moment that the credits finally finish playing is, he's the first boss of Shovel Knight. So they put the biggest most aggressive himbo right there, and he gets 1 second to himself before Shovel Knight comes and kicks his ass, which is a fun for people who are heartbroken over his treachery. You know, we at least know that he gets his comeuppance. So, anyways, that was me. That was King Knight. Please, again, buy this game. It's so cheap. It's $20 for 4 games. There's so much more content that you didn't get to see. The power-ups are really cute. He has his propeller rats go do his bidding. It's very, very fun. Plague Knight is a cute love story. Spectre Knight is a cute, tragic love story that's also incredibly gay. Shovel Knight the music is amazing. 5 games. Yeah, sorry, 5 games. The multiplayer showdown fighting game. It's so much work that these people poured into. It's not just one of those where I'm like, I think y'all would like it. It's like, I think I don't know. I think we're going to be talking about the Shovel Knight games for a long time. At least I know I will. Thank you to Jake. Thank you to Ziathon. Sign up for the next one of these that happens, y'all. When I did let Jake talk, he was talking about how this is for a lot of new people who've never run before and a lot of people who have run a lot of games like me. I learned this for Ziathon. Specifically, I was like, well, I want something new that I haven't done, even though I've played a lot of platformers. So, you know, the fact that I got underestimate, still pretty off my PB, it doesn't matter because the whole purpose was to say, hey, let me not play a Sekiro or a game that I'm really practiced with. Let me just pick something up, learn it in a month, try to have fun with it. And I think a lot of you can do the same. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking. Jake, what should we do?
Aren't you going to talk more here in a little bit?
Well, eventually, but I got to feed Chuckles and I got to eat.
Okay.
So I will in a bit, but
all right.
Right now.
Well, I'll switch over, and
Okay.
we can do boot eternal. Get it there.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.